As the 2010 regular session reaches its end this upcoming week, the budget and tax issues are at the forefront of the discussions still today. Within the last 2 weeks, the House Budget Committee, or House Appropriations Committee, has cut the existing state budget by $600 to $700 million. This measure is expected to be discussed on the House floor during the upcoming week. However, the likelihood of this measure passing seems to be slim to none, and the general thinking is that all budget and tax issues will likely be resolved during the veto session, which begins April 28th. There are many other issues that the Kansas Livestock Association has been following and are of interest to KLA members. Among these issues is Senate Concurrent Resolution 1623, also known as the Flint Hills Burning Resolution. This resolution urges Congress and the Environmental Protection Agency to not consider smoke coming from Flint Hills prescribed fire during the month of April when analyzing the data that causes potential exceedances of ozone levels in the urban areas within Kansas City and Wichita, as well as other urban areas across the nation. This measure has passed the House Agricultural and Natural Resources Committee in the last week and was discussed on the House floor. The measure is expected to be brought up for a final action vote in the House this week. The measure is expected to pass and has already passed the Senate, so it would likely become an effective binding resolution at this point. Of other interest to KLA members are two bills that would increase the Kansas and Animal Health Department fees in order to provide funding for the disease control budget within that department. Similar bills have passed both chambers, including minor tweaks on the effective date of the fee increase in the Senate-passed version. This week, the Senate is expected to likely merge those bills and pass out a bill that would be workable and allow for the fee increases to take effect this upcoming year. KLA supports this measure and is very supportive of the Kansas Animal Health Department and its efforts to maintain Kansas animal health by controlling disease functions and potential outbreaks in emergency situations. Additionally, the House concurred on a bill that would increase dairy fees to fund the dairy program within the Kansas Department of Agriculture. The House vote to concur on this measure was 112 to 10. The dairy program within the state of Kansas is important because inspections are required in order for dairies to send milk over interstate lines. The fees included in this bill would increase fees mostly on dairy processors and distributors within the state of Kansas and would have a minimal impact on dairy producers within this state. Finally, the last bill to be discussed this week is Senate Bill 316. This bill was concurred by the Senate 40 to 0. On its way to the governor's desk and would allow for the non-use of water in areas closed to new appropriations to not be cause for abandonment, so long as a means of diversion is available within a reasonable time to put that water to beneficial use. In conclusion, as we stated at the beginning, the tax and budget issues are the main issues that are left unresolved during this upcoming legislative session. KLA Legal Affairs and Lobbying staff will continue to monitor the situation through this upcoming week as we wrap up the regular session, as well as through the veto session, which begins April 28th.